Good evening. Tonight we're diving headfirst into the murky world of stalkerware, those creepy apps that allow abusers to digitally stalk their partners. These apps, often marketed as tools for parental control or employee monitoring, have a dark side that is often overlooked. And guess what? It just got a whole lot worse. The situation has escalated to a new level of danger and invasion of privacy. A newly discovered vulnerability has ripped open a gaping hole in 3 popular stalkerware apps, Spizy, Kokospy, and Spyik. This flaw is so severe that it compromises the security of countless users. This isn't just a small leak, folks. We're talking about a data breach of epic proportions. The scale of this breach is unprecedented and alarming. Millions of user emails have been left exposed, ripe for the picking by anyone with even the slightest bit of tech savvy. This exposure puts countless individuals at risk of identity theft and other cybercrimes. That's right, the personal information of people who thought they were secretly monitoring their partners is now up for grabs. This breach has turned the tables on those who sought to invade others' privacy. The irony is almost too delicious. Those who intended to spy on others are now the ones being exposed. But here's the kicker. The security flaw is so severe that experts are keeping the details under wraps. They fear that disclosing too much information could lead to even more exploitation. They're terrified that revealing too much could give even more bad actors the keys to the kingdom. The situation is a stark reminder of the importance of cybersecurity and the potential consequences of digital vulnerabilities. So, who are these digital peeping toms masquerading as legitimate companies? These entities present themselves as helpful tools for concerned parents or employers, but their true nature is far more sinister. Let's pull back the curtain, shall we? It's time to expose what these companies are really up to. First up, we have Spizy, a self-proclaimed monitoring solution that promises to track everything from text messages to browsing history. Sounds innocent enough, right? They market themselves as a safety tool, but the reality is much darker. Except, of course, when it's used to stalk and control someone without their knowledge. This is where the line between safety and invasion of privacy gets blurred. Next we have Kokospy, another player in the stalkerware game. They claim to offer peace of mind, but at what cost? They boast about their stealth mode, which allows users to spy on their victims undetected. This feature is particularly alarming, because nothing screams healthy relationship like covert surveillance. Trust and communication are replaced by suspicion and control. And last but not least, we have Spyik, rounding out our trifecta of digital creepiness. Their marketing is slick, but don't be fooled. Their website assures potential stalkers that their app is 100% undetectable. Spoiler alert, it's not. Users often find out the hard way. These companies may try to dress up their products in fancy marketing language, but let's call a spade a spade. Their true intent is clear. They're selling tools of abuse, plain and simple. It's crucial to recognize and call out these practices for what they are. Now let's talk about the fallout from this massive data breach. We're not just talking about a few leaked passwords here. This is far more serious. The exposed data includes email addresses, purchase histories, and even technical details about the victim's devices. That's a goldmine for identity thieves, scammers, and anyone else looking to exploit vulnerable individuals. But the damage goes far beyond mere financial risk. Imagine being a victim of domestic abuse who thought they were using stalkerware to keep tabs on their abuser. Now their own personal information has been compromised, putting them at even greater risk. The sheer scale of this breach is staggering. And the worst part, this isn't even the first time stalkerware apps have been caught with their pants down, so to speak. Section 4. The silent threat. Why stalkerware is so dangerous. This latest scandal highlights a chilling truth about stalkerware. It's often as dangerous to the users as it is to the victims. These applications designed to spy on others can backfire spectacularly. These apps are notoriously poorly coded, riddled with security flaws that leave everyone involved vulnerable. Remember MS-Spy? It's a prime example of how these tools can fail spectacularly. They promised discretion but ended up exposing the personal data of tens of thousands of users. The breach was a wake-up call for many, and let's not forget about PC Tattletale and the Truth Spy, both of which suffered similar breaches, spilling their users' secrets all over the internet. These incidents are not isolated. The problem is, stalkerware developers are often more interested in making a quick buck than in protecting their users' privacy. They prioritize profit over security. They cut corners, prioritize profit over security, and leave their customers exposed to hackers and data breaches. This negligence is widespread in the industry. But the dangers of stalkerware go far beyond data security. The implications are deeply personal and often devastating. These apps are tools of control and coercion, often used to intimidate, manipulate, and silence victims of domestic abuse. The psychological impact on victims can be severe and long-lasting. Section 5. The legal and ethical minefield. A clear line crossed. Let's be crystal clear. Using stalkerware is wrong. In most countries, it's flat-out illegal to install software on someone's device without their consent. And even in cases where it might be technically legal, like parental monitoring, it's often ethically dubious at best. Sure, some might argue that there are legitimate uses for stalkerware, but let's be honest, those cases are few and far between. More often than not, these apps are used by jealous partners, controlling exes, and abusive individuals looking to exert power over their victims. The bottom line is this: no one has the right to track someone else's every move, read their private messages, or listen in on their conversations without their explicit consent. That's not love, that's not concern, that's abuse. Section 6. Fighting back, detecting, and removing stalkerware. So how can you tell if you're being digitally stalked? And more importantly, how can you protect yourself? First, trust your instincts. If you notice your phone acting strangely, battery draining quickly, apps crashing frequently, unusual data usage, it could be a sign of stalkerware. Second, check your app permissions regularly. Stalkerware apps often require access to a wide range of permissions, including your location, contacts, camera, and microphone. If you see an app with suspicious permissions, uninstall it immediately. Third, use a reputable anti-malware app for protection. Malwarebytes, for example, can detect and remove most types of stalkerware effectively. However, be warned, removing stalkerware can alert the abuser. Section 7. A call for help. Protecting victims of domestic abuse. If you're a victim of domestic abuse and you suspect you're being monitored, your safety is paramount. Before you attempt to remove any stalkerware, it's crucial to create a safety plan. Reach out to a trusted friend, family member, or a domestic violence organization like the National Network to End Domestic Violence. They can provide guidance, support, and resources to help you escape the situation safely. Remember, you are not alone. There are people who care about your safety and want to help. Don't be afraid to reach out for help. And to the stalkerware companies out there, let this be a wake-up call. Your days of profiting from abuse are numbered. The world is watching, and we will not tolerate your predatory practices any longer.